The Gospel of Aaron and the Overflowing Throne. Aaron didn't live in a house. He lived in a van. Not just any van. A weathered, grease-scented, spiritually haunted machine known across the neighborhood as the Buddha van. It coughed smoke, leaked rainwater, and smelled like someone tried to cook bacon in a sewage plant. But to Aaron, it was perfect. Inside that sacred van sat the crown jewel of Aaron's universe, an old, cracked, and deeply unflushed portable toilet. Overflowing, bubbling, undisturbed by hose or hand since the day it rolled into his life. Aaron had never emptied it, and he never would. "That's my best mate," he'd say proudly, patting the crusted plastic lid. "Never left me, never judged me." Unlike most people, Aaron BBQ'd inside his van, right next to the throne. Sausages hissed on a tiny grill. Smoke poured out the windows, mixing with fumes from the toilet, creating an atmosphere that could dissolve most people's lungs. Still, Aaron would flip his meat with care, placing the rolls directly on a table so close to the toilet that sometimes they touched the rim. It was a lifestyle. He threw parties in that van too. No invites, just people. Friends, strangers, wanderers, squeezed in shoulder to shoulder, beers in hand, sharing laughter, smoke, and an unspoken agreement not to breathe too deeply. Music crackled from a half-broken speaker, and in the center of it all sat the throne, silently sloshing with dignity. One night in the middle of one such party, a woman walked in, said nothing, sat right down on the toilet in front of Aaron, mid-kebab. He froze. She made direct eye contact, did her business, flushed nothing, wiped her hands on a paper towel, and walked out without a word. Aaron leapt up, hopping on one foot like he'd stepped on a burning coal, his egg sandwich wobbling in hand. His bald head smacked the van's low ceiling. "I've seen things," he whispered to himself, eyes wide. But that was biblical. But he didn't clean it, not even a baby wipe. Because the toilet was his mate, and mates don't get wiped down after every surprise. One sunny afternoon, Aaron decided to hit the streets. He strapped his sacred toilet to a trolley, grabbed his skateboard, and set off, riding barefoot, toilet trailing behind, sloshing aggressively with each turn. Urine and poo splashed out like some kind of brown parade float, and Aaron just smiled, the wind in his face and an egg sandwich in hand. At one point, he stopped dead in the middle of the high street, dropped his pants, sat down on the toilet, and continued eating his sandwich as though it were a perfectly normal picnic. Then, as fate would have it, an old man rode past on a one-wheeled bicycle. Their eyes met briefly, but just then, the old man sneezed violently, blasting Aaron square on the bald head, mid-poo. Mayonnaise dripped from his sandwich. Something else dripped from somewhere else. Aaron barely flinched. Just another Tuesday. Moments later, fate struck again. His cousin Liam happened to be driving past. He slowed his car when he saw the unmistakable image. Aaron, pants down, sitting proud in the street, munching a sandwich, toilet behind him, sloshing like a swamp. Aaron noticed him, stood up, and waved enthusiastically with his sandwich hand, trousers still tangled around his ankles. Liam's eyes widened. He didn't stop. He just floored it. Later that night, Aaron returned to the Buddha van, rolled the toilet gently back into its honored corner, and got the BBQ fired up once again. Smoke poured out of the windows in thick plumes. The party was on. And then Liam came back. Out of guilt or curiosity, he stepped inside and stopped cold. Right in front of him, the same overflowing toilet, and next to it, a folding table stacked with burger buns and sausages. A bun was touching the toilet rim. "Vit! Aaron!" Liam shouted, gagging. "I've told you about this before. This isn't hygienic." Aaron stood calmly over the smoking grill, turned slowly, eyes locked on Liam's. "And I've told you, Liam." He grabbed a sausage and placed it gently on a roll. "Flavor." He pointed at the toilet. "It stays put. The food stays put. Deal with it." Smoke curled around them like fate itself, and in that moment, Liam knew he would never change Aaron. No one would. Aaron was not a man. Aaron was a movement. A very smelly, very public movement. The end, for now.